I'm sick of y'all. This is the worst superstar. Now, the word superstar is applicable here because he is a superstar when healthy. I can make a case this is the worst superstar in the history of sports. You're talking about the first 4 years of his time with the Clippers, he's averaged 40.3 games a year.
So recently, I've seen Stephen A. apologize to Kyrie Irving. I give him credit for at least realizing, man, I did handle that the wrong way with that whole situation. And maybe I'll touch on that in a separate video. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I feel he may regret this take that he said about Kawhi Leonard if in the future there's a full transparent report that comes out showing how bad Kawhi Leonard's knee injuries really are. And if there is one already, y'all let me know. But if it really comes out that he has some type of just very, very bad thing that he's been dealing with and he's been quiet about it, but wouldn't go into full detail as to how bad it really is, then saying he's the worst superstar, it's not going to land well. And Kawhi Leonard, he doesn't strike me as a guy who just wants to sit out playoff games for the sake of sitting out. I also want to remind people that in 2019, he was doing load management with the Toronto Raptors. During that whole season, there was games where he would sit out. He was doing similar things, right? So maybe 5 years later, the knee doesn't get much better. It's worse. You know, he even missed some playoff games this year against the Mavericks. The bigger picture point that I'm making is this is a legitimate injury from what I see and many other people see. It's not fair to keep holding that against him and talking about him playing just 40 games a season. Unless he's legitimately healthy, none of us knows what he truly feels in that knee or whatever injury he has when he wakes up. Now, to be fair, I know that's not what Stephen A. only says. It's like a small or another component of his bigger problem with Kawhi Leonard, and we're going to slowly get into that. Let's play this clip.
First, let me confess, I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of jealous, Jay, because somehow, some way, no matter what his lack of availability is, don't you notice how that's never the issue come negotiating time? Right around the time it's time to negotiate, the brother available. But then, the second the man get his money, you got an APB out for him, and you can't find him.
When I hear this point being made, it's either one of two things he's saying indirectly without actually saying it. A, he doesn't believe in the legitimacy of Kawhi Leonard's injury. He doesn't think it's that bad. Or B, maybe he does, but he believes Kawhi Leonard could play through it. And either way, no matter how you slice it, he's clearly questioning the motive behind Kawhi Leonard when he says that it seems you are ready to play, you're available when the money's there, and then as soon as you get paid, you're not found anymore. Now, I try to be objective as possible. Let's say, for argument's sake, what Stephen A. seems to be alluding to is true. The injuries is not as bad as it seems, or he could play through it. Then I don't put that on Kawhi Leonard if he gets these big contracts that he's getting. I put that on the GM. If I'm a GM of the team and I'm trying to sign Kawhi Leonard, I'm definitely going to take into consideration, hey, he's not playing a lot. There seems to be a history of injuries where he can't give us his full 100% every season or even into the playoffs. And then if I still make that decision to sign him, that's on me. If Stephen A. really feels this way, I'm looking at it like you got to put more of the blame on the actual GM of the team, the Clippers, who signed him to the contract. If you're really talking about the money and him not, I guess, deserving it, I'll put it like this. How many of y'all, you walk into your boss's office and he's giving you a raise? Would you really sit there and be like, man, I don't deserve this raise, I'm going to turn down the money? I don't know how much people would do that. Even if there's other employees who don't believe you deserve it, you're going to take that raise, right? I think most people would.
That's injury related, so I get it. Andrea, where I'm so disgusted with him, he makes no effort to promote the game, to promote his team, to promote the NBA brand. Zero.
Stephen A. being a media member, I understand why he's making this point right here. The NBA, the salary cap and the revenue, obviously it goes up tremendously based on the broadcasting deal and the rights that the NBA does in terms of doing business with the media itself. He's looking at it from the perspective, we are the reason or the main reason why you're getting these big contracts and money in the first place, because we help to promote the game and show it to millions of viewers. Here's a problem I have with this kind of viewpoint, though, and I don't know if Stephen A. has ever said that directly. I think he's made points similar to it, but first off, the product is the product, right? You got to have a great product. So Stephen A and the media, they didn't make the product. Kawhi Leonard had to go in the gym every day of his life and work on his game so he could become that great that when you show him on the TV, you want to see him. So because of that, NBA players contractually are obligated to talk to the media in order to help promote the game. After a game, before the game, end of season, post press conferences, before the season starts. All of these interviews they have to do, right? But they are not obligated to market the game outside of showing up to these interviews and answering questions. When it comes to the full promotion and advertising of these players, that's the media's job. It's their job to find a way to disseminate to you guys why you should watch this game and that game. And it would be nice if you had more guys like, let's say, Anthony Edwards, who every time he speaks, it's something that you want to hear. You can't fault Kawhi Leonard for being a quiet and reserved person who's dealing with injuries. I don't think that is fair, especially when it comes to this. Kawhi Leonard is not a part of the media. He's just what the media has to market. So yes, from Stephen A's perspective, it's harder to market a guy like a Kawhi Leonard due to his nature. Me personally, I don't hold that against him. It's just, it is what it is. You got to deal with it. Let me know what y'all think. Comment on the video, what you like about it. You agree with Stephen A's perspective? Let me know. I'm open to hearing what everyone thinks. I just like discussing what's going on in the NBA and giving my 2 cents. Again, salute for listening. As always, peace.